Hello and welcome along to AVFTS Extra. We're here today to talk about some of the latest and breaking transfer news. Viktor Gyokeres to Arsenal is a done deal, and it's a huge deal as well, as the Sporting Lisbon forward has now got the move that he went on strike for, forced, and it seems to be a hefty price. 73 million euros is the expected outcome. Newcastle advancing in a massive coup, a massive talk for Hugo Ekitike. That is a business that has got people talking because it links on to the next part. Does that mean that Alexander Isak will be going to Liverpool? Well, we're going to have to wait and see on that one. But big up to each and every single one of you. Thank you for tuning in, and big up to anyone who's come over from the AVFTS clan. So there we go. And I love this already. So Joshua, more channels on the Sky package. Best bit about it all, it's all for free. So there we go. But yeah, there we go. And do make sure you have liked and subscribed. And there we go. And up the AVFTS army and clan. Look, there's some big businesses that are going on today. And Christian saying, who needs Sky? Exactly. I've got you covered. I've got you covered on the stories today. Stories then. Let's have a proper story time. Let's properly talk about what's going on. The reality is that Arsenal are making huge inwards in this transfer market now. This isn't a joke anymore. This is absolutely massive. They've gone from signing Kepa as a backup keeper, Christian Norgard they've got in. They're looking to tie up Madueke. They're looking to tie up Gyokeres. And they're also getting in a centre-back in Mosquera. But the main man himself, the position that has absolutely been the issue is, of course, none other than Arsenal finding a number 9. They've been linked to Benjamin Sesko. They've been linked to none other than Ollie Watkins. And now it feels like they've finally landed with that outcome, with that answer, and the man that they want. And as I said, they've already had a massive here we go the other day with Noni Madueke, which we're going to share with you now on the screen, which is the fact that, again, this one, Arsenal, were they overpaying for someone like Noni Madueke? Well, it's your consent and your views on it, but Noni Madueke to Arsenal was agreed a couple of days ago, 50 million add-ons, and you're looking at Arsenal going, you're splashing some cash there. For me, there is never a world in which Noni Madueke is worth 50 million, but there we go. Chelsea have done an absolute number on Arsenal, and he's got a 5-year deal in the bag because of that. And you're thinking, okay, Arsenal, and some Arsenal fans are a little bit worried, going, please don't tell me that, Arsenal are basically pulling all their money into only someone like Noni Madueke. Well, no, it just gets better and better for them. And I seriously have got to say this now with chest. Arsenal are actually moving like madmen. They're actually moving at a pace that is basically putting a little statement out to the world and saying, listen, there is no second place finishing this season. It's first or nothing. So I'm going to give you the news. Because the green light is there. And Fabrizio and both have said this. So we have this. Talks underway in London between all parties involved. Gyokeres deal to get final green light and seal the move. This move's been going on for a while now. Absolute while. And the green light is there as such. It sounds a bit like Squid Games, doesn't it? Green light, red light, all the lights when they say that. But look, Ornstein also came in with the Gyokeres bomb as such. And again, he's covered this in the last few days. This was yesterday, what he said. And I think, again, this is showing the price and the fee that you guys need to know about. Would I take Raheem Sterling? No. Avoid, especially of his wages, unless he's on 50 quid a week. I'm not touching Raza with a barge pole. Super Matty, no chance. 874 said everyone in top 6 is making manager made signings. Is that what it's been to? It does feel like that. And the only certain I should take is Silva. I agree. What honest thought in the chat then? How good is this guy going to be, Viktor Gyokeres? Is he going to take the Premier League and Arsenal by storm? This guy's had such a weird career. Coventry City to Sporting Lisbon to Arsenal. This guy was playing in the playoff final not long ago for Coventry, a couple of years ago. And now here he is signing for Arsenal. The absolute change in scene and dynamic is unbelievable. And I've got to ask, how, why, what happened for Gyokeres to have this such rising fame? Because nothing short of incredible at Nothing short of incredible, to be honest, at Sporting Lisbon. He has had the season and career of his life. But let's get into what Ornstein has said, which is absolutely needed and true, which is this. Agreement in principle reached for Viktor Gyokeres. Move from Sporting Lisbon to Arsenal. Deal worth 63.5 million guaranteed. So minimum 60 million. Plus 10 million add-ons. And I love this last bit. And the Swedish striker's representative waives fee to help facilitate the 27-year-old making Sporting to Arsenal switch. So his agents actually waived this fee as well. Now, Gyokeres basically went on strike. To not beat around the bush, Viktor Gyokeres went on strike to demand this move and get this move. Sometimes that's so say about a person's character. What I want to know is, wearing that shirt for Arsenal and being their lead number 9 is going to come with heavy weight and heavy pressure and heavy expectation. Because remember, chat, he's the missing piece to Arsenal being successful. If Arsenal sign a number 9, they're going to win the league, said the fans. We're missing one piece of Arteta's jigsaw puzzle, which is a number 9. You've got your number 9 now. So Arsenal sure better go win that league. They sure better deliver the goods. Because I'm telling you, chat, you cannot be in a position where you sign a number 9 and you don't deliver the goods. Because we've heard from Arsenal fans, and correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but all I ever hear from Arsenal fans is we're one piece of the puzzle missing, a number 9. Because they've had to deal with Kai Havertz, remember? And they've had to deal with, even having what's his chops, the Moreno playing as a striker. I want to know your thoughts. Does he flop or does he flourish at Arsenal? Let me know in the chat. Or if you're watching on replay, does he flop or does he flourish? Some people are sensing a flop. Some people are calling a flop. Christian says, you heard it here first. Malum gets more goals than Gyokeres. Massive shout that is. I love it. Victor scares me, man. I'm worried Arsenal guaranteed title. Wow. Edits is saying he's that big of a gun. I would just like us to have a Sterling or Wilson, even a Vardy on bench, if that makes sense. I'm taking Callum Wilson all day long, by the way. I'm taking Callum Wilson. Jamie Vardy, I think his head's gone party mode now. I think Vardy's looking for that last day package. But I think Callum Wilson's still a model pro. I agree on that one. Pete said he's going to be a big flop. I'm very scared of him. Not going to lie, he's scary, says 1874. Meat says adding too many players in the window doesn't always work out in the first couple of seasons. Just ask Chelsea. Fair point. It's make or break for Arteta this season, surely. He's been heavily backed. Even if we just take those fees alone, 50 mil on Noni Madueke. I'm rounding down as well. 70 mil on Viktor Gyokeres. Well, that's another 120, 130 they're spending. While also bringing in Norgard, Kepa and Mosquera. Arsenal, I'm not messing. Arteta is heavily funded. I actually would like to know, has Arteta surpassed the 1 billion mark yet as Arsenal manager? And here's another piece of news from Fabrizio in regards to Gyokeres, just to back this one up. Negotiations between Arsenal and Sporting remain ongoing in London with all parties involved. After commission reduced by agent, I love that. The agent's getting a big shout out here. After commission reduced by agent, plus the 63 million fee already, Sporting asked for 10 million add-ons to be easy/guaranteed. Arsenal and agents remain in talks to get final green light. Whenever the agents waive the fee, it should be as simple as that, shouldn't it? Should be as simple as that. But there you go. Have you heard about 100 million for Watkins and Oilcastle? Can't see that one happening, sure or not. If we sign Wilson, we'd need a permanent ambulance inside the pitch. Yeah, we keep the club physio busy, won't we? And Gyokeres' wage is going to be through the roof, definitely. He's going to be in demand. But yeah, so that's the latest from Fabrizio and Ornstein. But again, as I said, it's not just Noni Madueke and Gyokeres. This is, again, more related news, a confirmation that Christian Mosquera confirms his move to Arsenal. I'm leaving Valencia as a man, and I arrived here when I was just 12. This is my home, and it always will be. Medical later this week at Arsenal. I do always find that strange. I'm not going to lie. When players come out and say, oh, this was my home, it always will be. Well, it's not. Arsenal's your new home now. You can't claim somewhere to be a new home if you're actually leaving them and abandoning ship. You won't hear Jack Grealish come out and say Villa's always my home. No. You can't call it your home. That ship sailed now. Jackie boy. And the same with Mosquera. So yeah, Arsenal, Viktor Gyokeres to Arsenal. Finally, Arsenal managed to sort out their freaking striker issue, and they actually have got a number 9. So all I'm going to say is, I don't want no excuses from Arsenal fans. I don't want no excuses. You have to deliver. You have to be winning the league because you told us that's the missing piece of the puzzle. And that's where I'm at with that one. All right. People, if you haven't already, make sure you run up the likes on this show. Hit the like button. Do subscribe if you're new as well. That would be massively, massively appreciated because you lot are the absolute dons. And yeah, I do appreciate you lot being in here. Big up there, AVFTS clan, says Les and Jamie. Big up to you. Some money going under the table for that agent. It's got to be, isn't it? Because he's waived his fees. Waived his fees. Yeah, no agent does that for free, do they? Watched him get injured first game. It's so Arsenal, it could happen. Jurrien Timber. Remember when he played for Arsenal, made his debut and got injured and basically was out for the season. Arsenal have a bit of voodoo with that. Yep, Duran said he watched Al Nassr when he grew up. What an idiot. Yeah, I can imagine Duran saying that as well. But here we go. This is the one that scares me, though. This is where I want to get into the real deal, because this is where Villa are being left behind because of business like this. This is where Aston Villa are getting left behind because of business like this. And I don't like it. I don't like it, chat. I really don't like it. Newcastle submitted an official bid today to Eintracht Frankfurt for Hugo Ekitike. If I say that name wrong, I apologise, but this name is always a bloody mouthful. Proposal higher than 70 million previously offered by another club this summer, with Newcastle pushing to get the deal done. Negotiations underway. But let's just pause for a second because there's a lot to take in here. Proposal higher than the 70 million euros previously offered by another club. A, who is that other club? B, Newcastle dropping more than 70 million. C, what is going on then? Because imagine a world where Alexander Isak genuinely isn't there to be a backup. Oh, sorry. Imagine a world where Hugo Ekitike comes as a backup to Isak and Isak stays. Imagine if Newcastle have both Isak and Ekitike as their strikers, because they've let Callum Wilson go on a free. So Newcastle need a backup number 9 to Isak. They need another striker. Does Isak stay or does Isak go? 70 million for a guy, though, is massive. But I see the thinking, because even if they keep Isak for one more season, say Newcastle do keep Isak, you've got your Medi rate, you've got your 70 million man as the backup in the first season. But guess what? When Isak goes, you've got your ready-made striker there to go. It could be smart long-term business here from Newcastle, especially if they keep Isak. They've got a good plan. They've got a good plan, I think. And if they do let Isak go, well, Isak's going to be more than 70 million, so they're not going to lose money. Either way, Newcastle are smart, Newcastle are moving, and Newcastle are cooking, and it's leaving Aston Villa behind in the mud when I see things like this. They're dropping 50 on Elanga, they're dropping 70 on Ekitike. What's going on? Where's our bombs? Where are we not dropping the bombers? But yeah, have a look at Ekitike's stats as well. What do we make of these if you're not aware of the player? And again, I'm very aware I'm probably butchering this guy's name, so please don't chastise me for that. But yeah, here it is. Eintracht Frankfurt, 33 matches, 15 goals. Damn, 8 assists. This is why this guy's getting talked about. We're looking at 23 GA in 33 matches. Absolutely unbelievable returns. This guy cooked for Eintracht Frankfurt. And we're also talking about a side that's not exactly a Bundesliga giant. They're not exactly a team who run away with it. And he's 23 years old. He's absolutely smashing it. Newcastle know what they're doing here. Because as I said, if he comes in as backup, they're laughing. Ex-PSG, but his trade has been there. How did he do in the Europa League as well? Yeah, 12 games, 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 GA and 12 in Europa League. This guy's no mug. This guy is a sharpshooter and 23 years old. We should be worried. we should be worried that Newcastle are actually thinking smart, thinking long term, thinking about, the fact that they've got a guy who can either come in and replace Isak or can be backup to Isak. But yeah, Ornstein 2 hours ago, I just want to put this out there as well. Again, this is what Ornstein has said. He said this. I'll come to chat in a second. Sorry, chat. With the deal, where is it? Because it's just caught my eye as I was typing it in. Here you go. Look at this. Newcastle won the 23-year-old forward to play alongside Alexander Isak. People are saying Newcastle might drop off. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. You got Isak and Ekitike as your main gunman. There's no dropping off here. There's no dropping off here. That's massive. That's absolutely massive if they're going to play alongside each other. I really believe that. I really do. I really hope we don't make the same mistake as last season and we have to bring 3 loans in January. Agree. This is a transfer we get for not showing up against United. Exactly that. Then yeah, it's true, Meeks. It's true. It's killed us and the referee. And do make sure you like and subscribe. And Peter's right though. European League form doesn't transfer to the Premier League in regards to Hugo Ekitike, because again, what if he does flop? It's a lot of money to be outlaid on someone who, of course, has done it for Eintracht Frankfurt. He's done it in a pretty good manner, though. Why are Newcastle so confident this will work out? Part of me wants to believe that Isak is leaving. I think that would make everyone's world interesting. But if Isak was to leave and to go to Liverpool, Liverpool are just so strong, aren't they? But yeah, what do you think in the chat? Isak stays or goes? Stays or goes? Now, again, whether this person thinks he's in the know or what, let's have a look. Someone's trying to be in the know. Let's see what this fake in the know, real in the know is saying. Said, this is a real-time situation, Isak. The player has told his agent that Liverpool would be his dream move, and if Newcastle wanted to sell him, then he'd love to go on good terms. The player hasn't ruled out forcing the move this summer. Hugo Ekitike has been told he will be Newcastle's #1 striker long-term. Everyone at Newcastle accepted that Isak will leave the club in the near future, but the big question is, will Liverpool break the bank for him this summer? 130 million this summer, 90 million next summer. Hold on to your hats. It's about to take off. Does Isak go this summer? Or does Isak go next summer? That's the question basically now at Newcastle. Will Liverpool pay 130 million for him? It's massive. In my opinion, I don't think Newcastle can say no to that money. If someone's offering 130 million for Alexander Isak, it'd be crazy to say no, right, chap? You'd be absolutely freaking crazy to say a pass. Holding out for that 90 million peanuts? I'm joking. But, still 90 million would be amazing. But I think Newcastle have to take it. I think Newcastle need to realise. How much do they sign Isak for as well? Let's have a look. Because I'm thinking again, what profit are they making on Alexander Isak transfer almost to Newcastle? So Newcastle paid 63 million for him. Newcastle paid around 65 million for Isak. Doubling their money. It's not bad, is it? It's not bad. Meeks said he goes. Newcastle don't have finances to pay multiple superstar wages. Wages, again, it always comes down to wages, doesn't it? Especially UEFA's rules. No one plays with 2 strikers these days. That's true, Pete. That is really true because, again, if he was to be there, he would have to be rotational. Isak won't want to rotate either. And, of course, Isak will want to play Champions League. So will Ekitike. He's signed to play the big games. Isak will want to play in the big Premier League games. Isak will want to break goal scoring records. Isak won't want to be rotated. So I think the way is that he seems like he's a classy bloke. He seems like he wants to leave Newcastle on good terms. Relationship with the fans are always good. Geordies will always sort of accept a player leaving if it's done right and done proper. But likewise, you also can get that sour taste from them if a player sort of shits on them. And if Isak goes for 130 million, I think Newcastle fans can sort of say, do you know what? If you go to Liverpool, you can almost accept it. Premier League champions, they do need to replace a striker. They do need to bring one in. They have been looking for a number 9 for a season or two as well because of Darwin Nunez's faults. Liverpool have got something special about them. They could go and defend the Premier League title again. Isak would be a key piece for them. 130 million, you having it. However, if Isak was going to Manchester United or Spurs, I could see the absolute riots. I could understand why Newcastle fans would be furious and be like, why are we selling club? Why is this happening? So, yeah, that's my thoughts and feelings on that one. At the end of the day, 130 million for Isak. You take it at Newcastle, you shake his hand, say, thank you for your time, thank you for your service, thank you for helping us win a trophy for the first time in 70 years. Oh, and by the way, good luck at Liverpool. Not a bad club to join in the end, is it? So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. It'd be the same really with losing Ollie Watkins as a Villa fan. If I lost Ollie Watkins to a top side who's competing for trophies, you sort of accept it. If I lost Ollie Watkins to Man United, my head's spinning, my head's gone, my head's thinking, what are you doing, Ollie? What are you doing? So I get that Isak thing, but there could be a world as Hugo Ekitike there could be a world, as David Ornstein has reported, that Hugo Ekitike and Isak play together. It's all on Newcastle. Are Chelsea dark horses for a title challenge this season? Because they've won the Club World Cup, people will now put them up on a pedestal again. They are starting to cook, but a Chelsea crumble is my favourite type of crumble. So potentially I see a Chelsea fall off still, but they are pretty scary. They are doing some business. If they upgrade their goalkeeper, then they're smoking. Big up to Saka NR7. He says, anything new on Gyokeres? So the latest on Gyokeres is the fee is all but settled. Sporting are happy with the plus 10 million plus add-ons. And most importantly, the agent has waived his fee, which apparently was the issue. Big issue, the agent fee. The agent's waived his fee. So now what's happening is Arsenal and the agent are meeting together to just finalise the wages for Gyokeres. Basically, Arsenal and Sporting are all but in agreement. It's just now Arsenal and Gyokeres need to do the personal shit, get the green light, get a here we go, and it's coming. So, yeah, I can expect Gyokeres to be announced by the end of this week. No doubt about it in my mind. I think Gyokeres to Arsenal, end of this week, 100%. It's just the agent now faffing around, I think, what they say on that one. But yeah, that is some of the biggest and latest news coming out of Arsenal. But as I said, that's what, again, I'll put it up one more time. That's what Fabrizio has just broken here. He has put the following. He has said that negotiations between Arsenal and Sporting remain ongoing in London with all parties involved. After commission reduced by agent plus 63.5 fee ready, Sporting asked for 10 million add-ons to be easy guaranteed. That would be easy for Arsenal to sort the add-ons. Arsenal agents remain in talks to get the final green light. Basically, that last line there, Arsenal agents, is Viktor Gyokeres wants a lot of money per week, and Arsenal just need to come to that conclusion. Big up my guy Adieri, is a Newcastle fan. Newcastle United signed Ollie Watkins for £50 million. No chance. You've got Hugo Ekitike, Adieri. You've got Hugo Ekitike. That's your man from Eintracht Frankfurt. He's signing for you. Well, subscribe. Big up for you, Saka, for subscribing. Is Emmy staying? 100% he's staying now. I think there's no first team slot in Europe that he fancies. Let's just have a look at any more news before we wrap up. Any other ones to get excited about or rumours? Of course, outside of the Premier League, I think a big day for Luka Modric, the absolute legend. Luka Modric going to AC Milan still feels a little bit weird, doesn't it? It feels very weird, actually, that Luka Modric is leaving Real Madrid. I thought he'd retire there, but no. This one again. RB Leipzig, a little bit of money. A lot of Premier League clubs were linked to this guy. Everton, Forest, Bournemouth. But Johan Bakayoko to RB Leipzig. Here we go. RB Leipzig have now got Kostan Djokovic and Bakayoko. 22 million package. Now, people are wondering, why is Bakayoko going for so cheap? 22 million for a player like Bakayoko is an absolute steal. Why is he going so cheap? People are questioning that one. Now, either no one knows something or there's something out there we don't know about, or he's going to be an absolute gem. But a lot of Premier League clubs, I think, have dropped the ball on that. Very exciting winger. Could do the business. So there we go. Welcome to Arsenal, Gyokeres. Absolutely, Morgie. He's going to be cooking. He's going to be cooking a storm, I think. Some people think he's going to flop. Now, as I said, there is a world where the Arsenal curse continues and Gyokeres gets injured first game of the season. There's also a world where Gyokeres goes and scores and is the missing piece that Arsenal have been craving. So there we go. But yeah, final one to break up on this doesn't look right to me. This doesn't look right to me. I feel like he should have stayed at AC Milan. Doesn't look right to me. Luka Modric at AC Milan. What a legend of the game. Shame. Doesn't quite look right to me, that image. I don't know why. Real Madrid players, when you've been a GOAT, like Toni Kroos just did it right. Toni Kroos was just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm absolutely done. So yeah. By the way, this is the Newcastle striker. This picture is quite interesting. Have a look at this. This is his celebration, Hugo Ekitike. He's got a phone and some sunglasses. So we could be seeing some crazy celebrations on Tyneside for sure. But yeah, we are going to wrap up there. Meeks sent, there is a history of Real Madrid players using Italian teams retire home. But yeah, why is that, Meeks? Why is that? And they sure did, edits. They sure did. But listen, everyone, thank you for tuning in. Big up to the real ones. Big up to the OGs. Your help on my channels are always much appreciated. I see you all. I thank you all. You're all legends. It means a lot. And we're going to keep growing as a community. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your support. Viktor Gyokeres to Arsenal. Here we go. He's coming. He's landing with Christian Mosquera. Hugo Ekitike to Newcastle is advancing. Let's see if Newcastle pays 70, 80 million for him. And Alexander Isak. This one's going to drag. But Newcastle have a big decision to make. 130 million? Yes or no? People, enjoy the rest of your evening. I wonder if I can redirect, even though it's a small redirect. Let's always redirect because it's a nice thing to do, isn't it? Well, that's probably quite pointless. Have I even got redirect? No, I can't redirect on this channel for some reason, so I don't know why. Hey, but big up Meeks, big up Pete, big up Les and Jamie. Big game for Wrexham tomorrow, Les and Jamie. Hope to see you around for that one. And Morgie is saying, get ready for that. This lad is landing to Emirates soon. Oh, he is. People, enjoy the rest of the evening. I'm out of here. Ta